What's up, everybody? I'm just having a local quick service call up in Bronx, but it snowed last night, and the roads are okay though. I don't have my studs in. I was gonna put the tire studs in, but I changed my mind. Just didn't think it would be worth it. Maybe it would, I don't know, but it seems like it's not worth it. Because, I mean, if I put the studs in, they kind of wreck your tires. So once you put them in, you're basically committed to keeping the studs in. And the other problem is, if I put them in now, I risk a chance of puncturing my tires. Because, you know, if you screw them in too deep, they'll puncture your tube. So it's definitely not a good idea. You know, I was going to take Broadway up, but I think I changed my mind. I'm going to just take the highway, because the highway is more likely to be clear. So I'll take that and then go up to, I think it's going to be better than messing around with this local roads. Although the local roads, they look fine. I mean, fucking loser. I guess what I can do is I can stop by Harlem. I have the studs there and I have my drill, so that in the event that I have to, I can put it on. Put them on. I just don't feel like dealing with those stud things right now. It's not something I want to deal with, you know, screwing in, and that the rubber on the tire might not be warm enough. That's going to be the other problem. If the rubber is warm enough to screw in. I always take my time, you know. I'm going up to Bronx. No traffic today, so I guess you're right. The roads look fairly clear. I mean, I'm sure like the guys in Wisconsin, Minnesota, they would laugh at snow like this, because it's just nothing, you know. It's just a little bit of snow. You always got to keep your eye in the mirror for people like that. People running or cutting up together, you know, like, we call it cutting up when they're on the highway. What intention of stopping for anything. You know, when they're doing that cutting up stuff, they're just running as fast as they can. Some of these trees look like they come down into the highway. So yeah, what I'll do is, I think going to where I'm going, I think I'm better off just going straight. I gotta get headed back to Harlem before it gets dark, because if the temperature starts dropping, I want to get those tire studs in. I'm really not sure what the road conditions are going to be, so I'd like to screw those studs in if it's going to get worse. But so far, it looks fairly decent. I'm not seeing any black ice or anything. You don't really see black ice that much in Manhattan. It's very rare, except like maybe if you're going through the park or something, where there's a road where there's no utilities. But, you know, it's just not, the roads this here are just not conducive to getting black ice. But that doesn't mean it would never happen. You gotta be ready for it when it does. And I don't think there's, like, if you're driving over one of those metal joints in the bridge or something, there's not much you can do about that. Like, if you do happen to hit some black ice, you're gonna go down. So I try not to think about it, because when it snows, I usually give myself a day or two before I go out. So today I gave myself a whole day. And then I went out with the intention of just seeing how it was going to be. If the roads were really bad, I was just going to turn around and go right back. But I haven't seen anything. So I'm really going to be careful later. We'll see what the temperatures become later. And if it gets really fucked up, what I'll have to do is I'll just have to take local streets home and stick it to dry road like this. Because you won't get black ice here, but you will get slippery conditions if it starts, you know, if the water from the melting snow gets out into the road where you're driving. So that's what I'm going to try to stay away from. I usually follow that procedure, and I never had an issue. I've never even slipped once, you know, on the KLR because of that. But if you venture outside the city, black ice is going to be your biggest problem. Matter of fact, yesterday, the day before yesterday, there was like 6-hour delays in Jersey because people on Route 4 and Route 3 and everything, because they were getting black ice. Metal joint things, oh man, they make me so nervous, because that's like the thing. Railroad tracks too, like they're freaking scary. But I tell you what though, ever since I started running these Kenda K761s and the Metzeler Karoo 3s, they've been pretty good for me. They got like nice road manners. Yeah, maybe I gotta go to Harlem and put the torch and try to put some of those studs in. That might be the way to go. Because if you hit something on the side, it's going to be rough. I'm just taking it easy. There's no traffic today, though. It's I guess a lot of people just didn't go to work. Temperature is like 33, so I don't think it's going to be a problem, but I really need to watch out later, see what's going on, because if we have like drops in temperature, it's going to be a problem. Well, I got a decent jacket on, so I'm alright. I'm wearing a really old jacket, but it's really warm in this kind of weather. I gotta get a new jacket though. It's not gonna make it to next season. It's like held together with glue and tape. It's like freaking. Because I only use it when it gets really cold. It's an old jacket that never let me down, but it's time to get rid of it. It's a 3/4 length jacket. Technique freeway jacket, they call it. Real decent for cold weather like this. It's waterproof, but I'm ready for a new one. It's nice to see the sun peeked out. It's actually real nice to see the sun peeked up. So I guess my rule is, like, if it does snow, you can't really go out the next day, but you could wait till the end of the day and go out, and that's what I did today. But that may not be, depending on the temperatures, that may not help you. So I just took a look at the temperatures to see what was going on. There's a shit ton of salt on the road too. That's another reason why I don't expose my Honda to winter. It's kind of like let one bike deal with it. This KLR deals with it. but it does get beat up from it. This is a 2018, and it looks like a 2008. I mean, most people that see it, they're like, whoa, it's a 2018, because it just has a lot of rust damage. Even the axle bolt, like when I changed the tires before the season, man, I had to beat that axle out with a sledgehammer to get it out. Because the axle was stuck, and it looked like it was salt damage. Like, I always put grease on my axle before I insert it, you know. So that shit right there is going to be a problem, stuff like that. That's why I think I'm probably just going to go to Harlem and put the studs in. I've seen enough that tomorrow is going to bring cold weather again, and it's going to be more of this stuff on the side. It's going to be too risky, you know. I think what I'll do is I'll just put the studs on, because at least then I don't really have to worry, because I know how the studs perform. Like, and stuff like this, it has no problem. I've driven through this slushy stuff though. On I got a video on it where I called Slush Fest last year. Drove right through. I drove through something like that, and it was, I didn't go down. Like, I just kept straight and didn't touch the brakes, because I was going up 3rd Avenue, and then they just finished like I guess they were pushing snow all over the place, and sanitation just put it all in the middle of the street, and cars were just running it over, mushing it up. I guess they just really didn't have, they ran out of places of where to put the snow. And that's what happened. So, but I was driving through stuff like that, and it was on 3rd Avenue, and it was cold, and it was slushy as heck, and it called it Slush Fest if you search it. And I didn't have too much, I mean, there was no, I didn't feel